So the West Coast Focus Midgets will be coming up next for their heat race, another 10-lap extravaganza. Brandon in Logan Lake was pretty happy with the performance of Aaron Wyatt in the 47 car in that last race. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Aaron Fell's dad, Ron Fell, tuning in from Puerto Morales, Mexico. How about that? There's the Long Toe Award so far tonight. Ron Fell, how you doing, buddy? Have a pina colada or something for me, Ron. As we get ready for the West Coast Focus Midgets. Hi, Lori. Lori Gordon, tuning in. Husband, Al, just won his race. She'll be watching son Dylan later. Why aren't you here, Lori? That's the question. All right, folks. 10 laps for the West Coast Focus Midgets. Here we go. The 37 car out of Delta. The second-year driver, Quick Rick McKinney. McKinney in the 37. The 9S, officially former Agassi champion out of Abbotsford, Tom Sawyer Lind. Sawyer Lind in the 9S. In the 03, the rookie driver from Chilliwack. Good-looking race car. That is Brady Rogers. Car number 7, third in points last year out of Surrey, Rockin' Ronnie Jones. The 38, out of Agassi. So he said coming out of a 20-year retirement last year for Al Stanley. Al Stanley, the 38, 64 years young. Car number 15, second-year driver, three-time Deming Speedway 1200 champ and a former Clay Cup champ out of Abbotsford, Aaron Fell. And car number 11, fast time for the two-time defending Agassi champ out of Abbotsford, Troy Globe. Here we go. 3 wide right off the bat down to the front straightaway. Ronnie Jones smoking the brakes. And that allows Tom Sawyer Lind to jump out front to the early lead. 1 lap in the books. Don't blink. Why? Because you might miss it. Again, 3 wide down the backstretch. Be careful, guys. We still got a main event later on. Sawyer Lind, the 9S. Ron Jones, the 7. Don't look now, but Troy Globe from the back all the way up to third as he dirt tracks his way through 3 and 4, completing lap number 3. 3 complete, 7 to go. Good race for fourth as the top 3 break away from the pack. Globe underneath Jones into second, and now underneath Sawyer Lind. New leader, Troy Globe, car number 11, as Aaron Fell unfortunately comes to a stop here on the front straightaway for our first caution flag of the afternoon. Hopefully it's nothing serious on the 15. With his dad watching online from Mexico. Well, that's good. Aaron Fell, he's got it restarted. Again, Aaron Fell, as we've talked about, folks, has spent most of his racing career on the dirt. Deming Speedway, where, as we said, he's a former Clay Cup champ and a 3-time season champ. But he's also raced 360 and 410 full-size sprint cars, Skagit Speedway, Grays Harbor Raceway. Just his second season here in the pavement midget at Agassiz. So he's back going again. He'll join the field at the back. So it'll be a single file restart. 3 laps complete, 7 to go. Troy Globe, he is the engine pulling the train around the Agassiz Speedway. He hits the go pedal and we're back green. Troy Globe virtually unbeatable here the last couple of years. So he said he won 8 out of 9 last year, including Dad's Memorial Race, sweeping both nights. And he won here back in June. Fast time today and opening up his lead in the heat race as we hit the halfway point. 5 down and 5 to go. The race right now is for second between Ron Jones in the 7 and Sawyer Lind in the 9S. Give the advantage to Jones over Lind. Stanley now in 4th. Aaron Fell back up to 5th. But Troy Globe, he's in his own area code. Spin over in turn 2. Again, we'll go yellow. Oh, no! Oh, no! Al Stanley upside down, red flag. Let's hope he's okay. Well, at first it was the yellow flag for Brady Rogers spinning in turn 2. And then as the yellow lights flashed, cars got together here on the front straightaway, and it was the 64-year-old second-year driver, Al Stanley. Upside down, didn't flip entirely, but got up onto the top of the car and then back onto the side, sliding down the racetrack. Safety crew on the scene, checking on his condition. As we say, he came out of a 20-year retirement last year. He only raced once last year after racing hobby stocks here at Agassiz back in the 80s and the 90s. He's climbing out of the race car, folks. Give him a hand. After a wild ride down the front straightaway. And, you know, sometimes, you know, no matter what the class of car, what track you're at, sometimes when a yellow light flashes immediately or a red light flashes immediately, you know, all it takes is one driver to just let up a little bit or hit the brakes, and then you got the old chain reaction. And it kind of looked like what might have happened there in that situation. It could have been a lot worse, though, trust me, because he didn't flip violently. Well, attention in the pit area. We need some brooms down in turn number 1. We need some manpower and lady power down in turn number 1. We've got a little bit of debris to sweep off of the racetrack. Red flag conditions. Bad news is that the 38 car is banged up a little bit. Good news, Al Stanley. Shake it up, but appears to be okay. That's the good news. So again, we'll get the crew down there to clean up the accident and clean up the racetrack. After a wild turn of events, after 6 of 10 laps in the West Coast Focus Midget heat race, I said in the first couple laps when they went 3 wide a few times, careful guys, we still got a main event coming up later on. So after 6 laps, it's Troy Globe in the 11, Ron Jones the 7, Sawyer Lind in the 9S, the 15 of Fell, the 33 of Rogers, the 37 of McKinney. Yeah, every Friday on the Agassiz Speedway Facebook page, we kind of dig out the scrapbook or the old newspaper articles and show some old photos and happenings from years gone by. And just yesterday, there were some photos, I believe it was from 1995, of the hobby stock action. And you had, of course, Rob Krickemeyer and Dave Key and Andy Bodner. Hi, Andy, if you're tuning in from a Soyuz today. And the driver of that car that just was involved in that scary accident, Al Stanley. As mentioned, he raced hobby stocks here in the 80s and the 90s. But kind of neat on the Fridays, as we said, to turn back time. Look back in the history books at this racetrack that opened in 1971 as a dirt track. It was a dirt track from 1971 to 1977. For many years, it was known as Kent Raceways. Yes, with an S, even though there was only the one track. I'll have to get to the bottom of that story someday. Anyway, 1978, they paved it. And as I said earlier, every year during the off-season, the board of directors, the executive, they get together and decide what improvements we're going to make during the off-season, and whether it's the lighting or the sound system, or a few years ago, the real nice restroom facilities we have here now. As mentioned, this past off-season, it was increasing the size of the spectator parking lot and repaving part of the racetrack and putting up some new sponsor signs on the backstretch. It's just a little something new each and every year to improve this facility in what is our 50th year of racing. Now, of course, we're not with the abbreviated schedule and everything else that's been going on this year. We're going to hold off on the 50th year celebrations until next season, but this year is officially year number 50 here at Agassiz Speedway, and we have so much fun here through the summer months as Jack's Towing carries the 38 car back to the pit area. We'll get a chance to get an up-close view here to see how much damage there is on the Al Stanley car after a wild incident here on the front straightaway on lap 6 of this heat race. How about a hand for Jack's Towing and Aggressive Towing, folks, again? Our official tow truck here this year. And how about another hand again for Al Stanley, driver of the 38 car. Al, glad to see you walking around. And, I mean, we're a long way away from the car, but the car is not as badly damaged as I thought it might be. So that's the good news. We've seen, I don't think it'll happen, but we've seen stranger things. Paul Woodsky, what do you think? Paul, is there a chance that car could make it back out for the main event? Might not be much of a chance, but there's a chance. You remember that Dumb and Dumber movie, right? So you're saying I got a chance. Yeah, 1 in a million. But you're saying I still got a chance, huh? Is that one of those movies you can just watch like 10, 20 times and never gets old? Dumb and Dumber, something about Mary. Anyway, the people watching on, I keep wanting to say the Facebook page, James, but it's not Facebook, it's YouTube, right? So now, James, being that we're on YouTube, people could actually watch replays if they want, right? So, okay, folks, so how about that? If you're at home, you can actually do the little rewind and The little click, rewind, going back to the cassette tapes. There we go, showing my age. And watch a replay of that or any of the action. And again, also, too, we should add that to any of you that are in the vicinity of Agassiz here this afternoon, we would love to see you out here tonight for the second half of our racing program. Again, we are limited to 50 people in the grandstands and 50 in the pits. But we'd love to see you here tonight. Again, street stocks and mini stocks qualifying at 7 o'clock, racing at 7:30. And if you know anybody that's not close, make sure you let them know about our live stream on the YouTube, Agassiz Speedway YouTube channel. So 6 complete, 4 to go in this heat race, and then we will have 2 main events. The Hornets, tentatively scheduled for 40 laps, and the Midgets, tentatively scheduled for 30. Still to come here this afternoon at Agassiz Speedway. A little break now. So glad you could join us, folks. I know you'll stay with us. We are almost set to get back underway here in the midget heat race. Troy Globe, the 11. Rockin' Ronnie Jones, the 7. Sawyer Lind, the 9S. Quick Rick McKinney, the 37. And Brady Rogers, the 03. Aaron Fell in the pit area as well, along with Al Stanley. Right foot goes down, noise goes up. And Troy Globe leads the field back to the green flag. Troy Globe, Ron Jones, Sawyer Lind, Rick McKinney, and Brady Rogers. Again, not Tom Brady, not Aaron Rodgers, Brady Rogers. Still can't believe Tom Brady's a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Sawyer Lind with a problem now as he goes to the pit area. Boy, attrition, I say, rearing its ugly head. And now McKinney slowing on the front straightaway. We've only got 3 cars at full speed now all of a sudden. Hopefully they will make it back, most of them, for the feature. Dropping like flies here. Don't like to see that. White flag, 1 lap to go for Worldwide. Jones still second, Rogers still third. Down the backstretch for the final time, humming that tune all by myself. Troy Globe, your winner. Jones second. And Rogers comes home in the number 3 spot. McKinney officially 4th. Lind officially 5th. Stanley and Fell. And again, as we said just a bit ago, hopefully most of them can make it back for the main event.